especially with the hair currently the way it is.
It's freaking 8:20.
All right.
Oh my God, Chrissy's gonna fall asleep.
I was in bed by this time last night.
I'm waiting for your
I'm
waiting for your microphone to stop buffering.
Okay, so that was only her. It wasn't my interwebs. All right, I'm feeling better.
No, we're good.
Is it me?
If we're ready, here it comes. Welcome to Everyone Racers, the show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Lemma-Champ or Lucky Track Dog League you run, SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate, as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussion, tips, tricks, news and notes of the world of amateur endurance racing, and whether it's on the spot, hella sweet, or we're lucky enough and Chrissy gives us just the tip, we're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris. Chrissy.
she's muted, everybody, and we all didn't yell. You're on mute. This is
you're
Jeff.
on mute.
And I'm mental.
I feel like I should pause here to make the other pauses sound normal, but we are Everyone Racers. Thanks for coming back and listening to a Bell Huey Plus episode of our podcast. It's episode 214. The Bell 214, also known as the Huey Plus, was announced in 1970. Similar in size and appearance to the Bell 205 and 212, the 214 uses a single, more powerful Lycoming LTC 4B8 engine and upgraded rotor system, giving it a high lifting capacity and good performance at high temperatures and high altitudes. So if you're not piloting your Bell Huey or anything else for that matter, grab that bingo card. Remember, if you keep getting the same one, go to help and click on the get a new card from the file thing. I just did that tonight.
Doing it.
Yeah.
I have too many screens. I don't do the bingo card. Anyway.
So what are you working on in all those screens, Jeff?
What am I working on? Well, we raced and we wrenched, and I know we're going to talk about that later. But this is the last race of the season. Wah, wah. The trombone is still in its case from the race. So, well, not for mental. So
you didn't play it at the race, did you?
Oh, Eric did though.
Eric did, yeah.
Eric had his own.
He does now.
I don't know.
Two trombones.
Two trombones. I know we're gonna do it. Two trombones. But anyway, so yeah. So this is the
sad trombones.
This is the more than just regular cleaning and unpacking. So laundry and deep cleaning and storage and all that other stuff. I forgot to mention last week that I put a new microphone in my and speaker thing in my helmet. On last week's what you're working on. So when I did that process, I realized that my helmet is really banged up. So I'm thinking about taking all the stickers off and polishing and cleaning and just really making the helmet. I mean, it really looks like a soccer ball, like the kids kicked it around. So
no, I think it adds to the X-Wing fighter pilot effect because all those helmets are all banged up.
Sure.
So they're rebels.
But even the stickers are like starting to peel off.
Yeah.
So
well, it's from putting people in and out of the car. Your
head totally is.
The head hits the A pillar when you're doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The paint job that I put on my helmet lasted almost 20 minutes before it started getting its first scuffs and chips.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's about right.
And you have nothing else to do in life at all than polish your helmet.
Yeah, but I could do that at like midnight. That's like
hey. What
he's married? It happens. No.
What we do with our helmets is our business. I'll polish it as much as I want.
And
oh boy,
doing the show notes right now.
No, don't polish anybody's helmet. Chrissy, tell us what you've been working on.
Oh, darn it. I didn't even think about it that way. We raced and we did unpacking just like Jeff did. We tried to put it away as much as possible, washed the bajillion of cookie containers. We slept a little bit. If you get now that I am a little sick and Jeff is too. So we're going to sound really great. Totally. This is the Hangover Show. We're still recovering from said hangover because it's real.
And we're rather certain we don't have COVID.
What are you up to, Mental?
Right.
Oh, yeah. Mine's all, my nose is running. So
I feel fine. So I don't know what's the matter with you people.
You didn't sleep in the RV with us. You went to the hotel.
Yeah. Okay. Fact. All right.
Apparently this is the problem.
Yeah. So judging stuff, I've got 2 more wrap ups to work on. And My brother-in-law left actually just today, so we were hanging out with him. In fact, I landed on Monday, went and met him and Vicky for lunch, and then immediately proceeded over back to the house to do wrap-up filming for the Button Willow video. Get some iRace commentary Monday night. We'll talk about that in a second. And as soon as the four of us are done here, my lovely bride and I are sneaking out of here to a restaurant that is showing or is hosting a viewing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah. I'm just a sweet transvestite.
Are you getting dressed up?
That was my question.
No, I have not had a Rocky costume in decades. So I will just sit over there and mumble to myself all the sarcastic lines that make sense only to me.
Disappointing.
Come on,
I know.
Amazon will get you some fishnets.
I was gonna say you could throw something together. You just go into the
found out
racing.
I found out about it like this afternoon or this morning, and so yeah, I doubt I even this close. I don't think Amazon can get me fishnets by showtime.
Nice.
That's true.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Chris, you've been a busy little beaver.
I've been doing all of the exact same things as everyone else, basically. Pack, drive, wrench, drive, unpack.
Sleep a little.
And I'm trying to I need a higher pitched nasal tone voice. I've really been working a lot lately. I don't know how to do that. So I don't have a good Jeff impression.
Do a Jeff voice.
That was enough. That was close.
But no, and the nasal is close. You just need about 20% more Gilbert Gottfried.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I've been working a lot. It's a shame. End of the month and too many people. And anyway.
All right.
Yep.
That was really boring.
It was super boring.
You guys are super boring. Yeah.
Said notes. Let's
Clean
just
my
get right to
pool.
more interesting stuff.
Clean
Yeah,
my
this
pool?
is
Does
more
that
interesting
matter?
than
All right.
what we're doing. Cleaning your pool is wonderful. It's better than polishing your helmet. All right. Lemon's cars are now collectible diecast cars.
I'm so excited by this.
For those on the Lemon's email list, you got the news this morning. For those that are not, hey, well, hitting Walmart, Target, Major, and other stores this fall, longtime 1/64th pioneer Johnny Lightning's new lineup turns actual veteran 24 Hours of Lemon's race cars into everything the full-scale machinery isn't. Mechanically sound, unlikely to burst into flame, and no venomous snakes birthing more venomous snakes in the air cleaner. The first offering is the Midwest Team Stain Your Lanes Cheetah Print Trailer Queen themed Honda Civic. We reached out to fifth host Eric Roos for some additional data before y'all flood Lemon's emails with why not Godzilla? Why not the boat? That's actually what we emailed Eric. So we did that for you.
I think it's already happening. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a skinny. The chosen designs are a collaboration between Johnny Lightning and Lemons, and there are some design considerations. So obviously they have to use molds they already have. Hence, no 16-foot sea sprite on a truck. They can't do extra bodywork mods, so no Godzilla, sadly. So this is the big one. The shape of the car is still owned by the OEM. So these makers have to approve any changes or any designs. So I'm going to say right off the bat here, good on you, Honda, for saying, yeah, cool. That's great. So if it's making fun of the car or if it's giant marital aid, that's a no. So there's not going to be a Mr. Fister. Rumor is that one OEM who Lemons perhaps mocks routinely allegedly said, absolutely effing not to the line. So
which OEM would that be?
Who does Lemons mock as an OEM?
Well, they mock a lot of people. I mean, we mock BMW, so.
Yeah.
AMC?
We don't mock BMWs. We mock people who choose BMWs.
It's true.
And Lemons loves AMC.
Absolutely.
And
AMC is wonderful.
plus they don't exist. Who are they going to complain to?
It's like Saturn, whatever.
Lemons loves Saturn
there was a protest to bring back Saturn. That's fine.
Can someone click the link
even,
and share the screen? Because I think it is absolutely fantastic. Oh,
so the second design is apparently already done and approved, but they can't announce it yet. No solid plans for the third, but you have to understand, quote, the art is going to have to speak for itself. The paint's got to be good, funny, ridiculous, etc. Johnny Lightning is supposed to or hoping to have these on the shelves by January, February. Unfortunately, not in time for Christmas, but that's okay.
Again,
Jeff.
Anyway,
enable
giraffe.
Yeah,
they're going to be some
we can't share.
Places taking pre-orders. Expect Lemons to get the message out as soon as it's a thing. And Glucker and Hooniverse, he's got his take on it. Link in the show notes.
Jeff, enable screen sharing.
Go ahead. It should be a shared.
Okay, here we go.
I restarted, so I don't have the link handy.
Yeah. No, I got it. It's
coming. It's coming. There it is. They look fantastic.
And that is actually one of the racers who works with them. That's a Midwest car. It's the Trailer Queen that they did up like Peg Bundy's clothing choices, which it is gorgeous. I can't wait.
And what generation Civic is that, Chris?
That's an EK. It's a 96 to 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So all I got to do is go back one generation and put a giraffe head on it.
They're not going to put a giraffe.
No. You can modify. You put your own giraffe head on.
Bingo. There you go. But I bet if you
will.
I bet if you sent them Godzilla, I feel like they would be down with it for an EF.
Hey, or Jim likes to paint these little cars. So
yeah. Well,
Christmas
we
is
have
coming.
We have news about little cars later in the show. I hope it's in the building. But we're going to talk about other bigger cars right now. We talked about this C8 Z06 last week. We put it in the little movie clips.
No. They released the movie yesterday.
Well, I know that.
46 minutes.
We had the clip last time.
Yes.
The short clip. Now the big one is up. The 42 minutes of the C8. Link is in our show notes. Put on your headphones. Get steamy to the sound of that exhaust. It is amazing.
I actually had to polish my helmet after I watched that.
It's great. It's a running gag all show. Here are some details from band Brandon Gilgoogly. Say it again. Gilgoogly at it's Haggerty. It's at Haggerty. Brandon from Haggerty. 8,600 RPM flat plane V8. We knew, but at 670 horsepower, it is officially the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 in the world. I know. I'm not going to do a Clarkson. My throat hurts. The chassis is actually the same as the C8R race car. It's rolling on 345/25 Pilot Cup Sports on 21-inch rear wheels. That's a really wide, skinny tire. The fronts are 275/30s on 20-inch wheels, 8-speed dual clutch, still the only transmission available. But if you opt for the Z07 package, you get carbon fiber wheels, the latest magnetic ride system, and Brembo carbon ceramic brakes. Aero package generates 738 pounds of downforce at 186 miles per hour. It is capable of 1.22 Gs, 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. But the most favorite thing, of course, is the exhaust tips are tuned to send the noise toward the passenger compartment. No need to have a little speaker in your car that fakes the sounds. It's fantastic. Check it out. Link to Haggerty, but you can probably find it on YouTube also.
We add the link to the YouTube video as well.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay. Sounds cool. On the topic of big news, Hazel Southwell at the Drive tells us the 2021 United States Grand Prix set the record for the biggest attendance ever in Formula One. The previous record was 351,000 over 3 days at Silverstone in 2019, was shattered by over 400,000 ticket holders coming from through the gates Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Circuit of Americas. As Haley writes herself, it's a far cry from isolating in hotel rooms and closed-door racing. And although the priority always is safety, I can't help but getting a little teary-eyed of the roar of the crowd as well as the engines. It is back. After a great weekend of racing ourselves, we have to agree. And on the subject of things we agree on, don't forget your E1R Fantasy F1 League, or you can. That would be fine too, because I am crushing it.
And it was a great race.
It was a great race.
It was a great race. Yeah.
We listened in the car on the way home, which was, it made me appreciate the announcers work because I could actually follow it. It was like listening to a baseball game on the radio when you were a kid, but actually good and interesting instead of crowd noise and making up.
Oh, that
stuff.
was cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Was the rare guy there?
No. I think he might very well be banned.
That's Chrissy are like, what? So last year at the US Grand Prix, there was a guy who was a little too close to the broadcast booth and he was going row, 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 like with his voice. and it got picked up by the microphones.
I know, I missed that one.
The version I heard is he actually stole the microphone and just started making
That was what it was? Yeah.
noise. And and should a team annoy us, that is a penalty where you have to have a radio and make roar noises to your driver.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
All right, but it was a good race. It was nice, and we listened to the pre-commentary, the post-commentary, because when you have 7 hours to drive, 3.5 hours was fine to fill with F1 commentary and stuff.
Yep.
So
we actually missed. We were I was with Dale and Ken, and of course Kurt and Craigers and Brad and Rich. We were sampling the finest Mexican in Concord, New Hampshire.
well, that doesn't suck either. Concord.
Yeah.
Concord.
I watched a good bit of it.
This is not a
Concord.
French supersonic aircraft. No.
Concord. Okay.
I watched it on the elliptical.
That's good too. 3 hours worth?
No.
No. Not even a
Shower, elliptical, stretching.
Fast forward. You know,
I mean,
fast
sure.
forward really,
the
really
whole.
fast.
Yeah.
Oh, you watch F1 in the shower? That's pretty good.
I do.
Because your shower's like this
Shower
big.
is this big.
It is. I
have
have a shelf. I can put the iPad like way out of the water.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear it when I'm in the shower. I hear it more than I see it. But
Chrissy's new phone is waterproof. She could totally watch it like in shower.
mine's been waterproof for like 3 generations.
Too bad.
Lottie freaking da.
I don't care. Okay, let's talk about something exciting. I know we talked about how excited we are about our relationship with Racing Junk, but you've got to check the site out. So if you're looking for a new place to scroll endlessly, that doesn't show you shaking butts, stupid people falling off of crates, or little dogs that may sit up or fall down. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. The classified section of Racing Junk is amazing.
I'm laughing because Mental put his dog up.
It's true. It's a little pug or something that either will sit up or fall down, and every
bones.
day.
That's
right.
Whether it's at Bones or No Bones Day.
Right.
Yes.
That's okay. That's what I'm getting at.
They are
Anyway,
much less likely to steal your data than the Chinese.
Racing Junk. Yeah, Racing Junk's out of Massachusetts. They're not taking crap in your
right.
data.
Oh, all right. So they have so many different kinds of racing stuff, but they also have all kinds of other fun stuff. So I was in the classified and started scrolling through and found that they have a golf cart section. Right now, they only have one. It is a Maze Balls custom Yamaha that is just gorgeous. And they have a boat section. So they have a bunch of different kinds of Carolina skiffs. Boring. To a
Carolina skiffs are boring. Yeah.
boring. They had multiple of them.
What is a Carolina skiff and why is it boring?
Because it's like a fishing boat or like a crabbing boat. It's like
the cheapest bathtub.
It's a bathtub.
It's
with an engine,
completely flat bottom, sides, and that's it. Like
you can only go from like a dock to like pick up the oysters that are on the other side of like the water over there.
Oh my God. I actually know what kind of boat that is as soon as you described it. Oh,
okay. Great. Okay. So there's a bunch of them. That's why they're boring. But they also have a grudge racing airboat boat called Nasty Boy. I mean, and then they had an 85 41-foot Apache Warpath.
I actually saw the Apache, and several of my friends.
We're discouraging that, and we're encouraging Racing Junk.
Right?
No. Racing Junk is that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, but your phone that you had up
care
there.
about the dog.
And Noodle the dog and Noodle the pug. Anyway, yeah. Several of my friends were flashing back to our 80s jobs. I was a dock boy in the 80s. And
so you know what a 41 Apache Warpath is?
Yes. So the local Cadillac dealer's son had a cigarette boat, and he was the fastest guy around until the day the 41 Apache showed up.
Oh my gosh, this thing is amazing.
We were showing those pictures around to a group of my friends.
Okay, cool. Well, you're probably you can easily get sucked in and just find some really cool things. Even if you're not going to buy it, it's something you might fall in love with. Share with your friends, just like I do with Bring a Trailer. So you should go to Racing Junk, and it is pretty awesome.
I actually find myself, if it's stuff that I'm not going to buy, I do find like some design inspiration. I'm like, oh man, that's a really cool paint scheme, or that sort of thing. Yeah. Or like pit vehicle modifications, because there are some cool pit vehicles. I was on a kick where I wanted one of those all steel, not the Cushman, but their electric things. It's the one Austin Powers got stuck in the hallway.
The one with the little tiller, or the one with a steering wheel? because the ones with
There-
the tillers are like,
Yeah, no, it's steering wheel, but yes, those the carts, and Racing Junk sometimes has those.
pit vehicles to full-fledged vehicles. Check it out, racingjunk.com.
Upcoming races.
Chip car is rolling Dawsonville, Georgia for the AMP. It's amped up. I know, but I'm trying to say AMP. Amped up duels at Atlanta Motorsports Park this Halloween weekend. 51 cars, 10 BMWs,
Boring.
15 Miatas, 2 Hondas, 3 Porsches, a Dodge Stratus,
Yeah.
a Mercury Capri, whose team name is Freddie Mercury.
And
And
might,
money.
might I just say, Team Freddie Mercury.
Good job.
Yeah,
You
right.
gotta bring the costumes though for
Good
your
job.
Team Freddie Mercury.
Well, Champ Car
I hope
doesn't.
everyone should better be working on those
costume.
glorious thick
Yeah.
mustaches for a
You'd
while.
be surprised. There are a lot of Champ Car teams that actually show up full themed.
Okay.
And in battle for the worst car for the Dodge Stratus and Mercury Capri is a 94 Altima.
Oh, that wins.
I know a Stratus is pretty bad.
It's got to be interesting though.
Oh well. Ultimus.
All right. So, folks, while you're at that, don't forget next week is the Lemons Hell on Wheels California Rally. So you follow on Instagram, follow hashtag Lemons Rally, all one word, to keep up with those shenanigans. We actually know some of the entries. We'll talk about it Wednesday. This is something you're going to want to watch. It is wonderful.
We're going to talk about it next week?
Yeah.
Okay. You said
It's-
Wednesday. They don't know when we record.
I'm sorry. Yes. Next, it'll be in the middle of the California Hell on Wheels Rally.
We'll have
Actually,
something to
it'll be
report
just-
on probably.
It'll be actually to be just at the start of it, but it is going to be fantastic.
All right. Lucky Dog is running Portland for the Halloween Rust New House Memorial Race. There's 62 cars, which is awesome for them. 17 BMWs,
Boring.
12 Miatas, 7 Hondas, and I don't know what else. So, and
I'm terribly sorry. I failed to finish the notes on that.
right,
one.
if I would do the math, I can't do the math that fast. Some other cars will be there.
The 84 Monte Carlo of the Intimidators is coming. Dale be praised. So good on him. And of course, there is a Scirocco, an 86 Scirocco. It's going to be awesome. So there's some cool stuff. Fiero
Cool.
GT. Yeah.
Excellent. WRL is holding their first ever true 24-hour endurance race.
Oh,
at
interesting.
Sebring. Yeah, speak at Sebring. No lights on a lot of that runway. So bring your headlights. This is their Eastern Championship, 47 cars, 13 which are BMWs, which are
Ooh, boring.
Boring.
9 Miatas, 2 Hondas, no Porsches, and car 969, our friends in the mighty Accord of Fat Crack Racing. Go Dustin, Jimmy, and crew.
Woo woo. Now we also got WRL's 2022 schedule. They'll be opening at NOLA, then Barber, Mid Ohio, Road America. Of course, they're running Daytona, which I highly recommend if you haven't driven Daytona. Road Atlanta in July, so it probably won't snow. High Plains, and then in September they're back at VIR for the full course. Which Chris and Chrissy, you guys did that. That's great track. The big news is in October when they are scheduled for the course at the Ozarks, which a lot of us have been watching on the Facebooks as they are building that one, and then it's back to Sebring and Coda for their world champ or for their national championship.
Yeah, that's not even open yet, is it? The course of the Ozarks.
No, it is. Yeah, they'll be one of the first organizations to run there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do that VIR.
I'm down.
Hmm.
They and if
We
Well, if had
haven't.
a fast enough car
Sure.
to do that. Like, you
Sure.
know,
We should
perhaps
have
a
2 of them by then.
Japanese double
or-
supercar with a
K-swapped.
V8.
Hey,
That
Or a
would be
K-swap
great.
Civic.
Hey, Fat Crack is running the Sebring race and an 84 H whatever 22 Honda Accord. Absolutely, the 3 will throw down.
Yeah,
We just
their
don't have
Accord's
much
totally
chance.
faster than the 3.
No, but the Honda or the Nissan, whichever is running it that month, could work.
Oh, I am so down. with
They'll
that.
both be in. They'll both be running. I've got high hopes. I've got high hopes.
For a sick
Recent
man.
Results.
It's September. If we don't have both of them going by then, we have problems. Although
Well, we could fix them and break them by then. I mean, that's really
that's true.
Twice.
you have these high hopes or something else.
recent results.
Please.
Yep. American Endurance Racing, they were at Mid-Ohio. On Saturday, Team Sailing came first, only 0.08 seconds back was Modern Auto Body Motorsports in second.
Was it?
I mean,
It was
someone
not
took a
0.08. It was 0.8.
0.08 is what was written. That's what it said.
I didn't
Sorry,
write that.
I thought I saw 0.08. So
Even-
Nope.
I spelled
even-
it out.
It was 0.8.
Even
0.8.
0.8. I mean, that's
0.8 is plenty.
That's
yeah,
a
I mean,
sender.
0.08 is someone farted as they were crossing the line.
Yeah,
A little
0.8.
further ahead.
That's like
Right.
go to the videotape and like go frame
Yeah.
by frame to see which
0.8,
bumper crosses.
still
the
quite close. Yeah,
Yes.
that's good. Sunday Sailing took top spot again. Second place was RSC Racing 3 laps back, and third was Ruben Performance Garage.
Champ Car held their Frozen Rotors event at Road America this weekend. On Saturday, JSK won in their 99 Maxima.
What?
Seriously.
Take
That's-
back what I said about the Ultima. I don't know what's going on here.
And they've this is not the first time they've won. And every time
What's
we're like,
in it?
holy crap, how are you managing to get a Maxima to last? So
I'm sure it's a
great.
VQ 3.5, and they made a 6-speed and a limited slip at that time, and you get enough
Yes.
weight out of it.
It is got it.
And Champ Car, it limits the amount of things you can do to your car. So if the 99 Maxima is a low starting value, it gives them more room to do things.
What?
I'm still going with they managed to make one last.
And win for that matter.
Yeah. Good on 'em.
Good on 'em.
Same lap, a minute back was Face Down Racing in their 88 Supra, and third was Two Brothers Racing in a Merc 190E. Dead Pedal.
Mighty 190. Yes.
Yeah, they did really well this weekend. Dead Pedal in their bi-turbo came in 30th out of 53.
Womp, womp.
Only did 33 laps. On Sunday, Premium Dudes won in their E30, on the same lap, 113 seconds down was the Two Brothers Racing in their 190E, and in third was Maximum Effort in their 08 Miata. Sunday, Dead Pedal came in 39th out of 45, so they really didn't have a good weekend. So hopefully the problems aren't terminal, and they're scheduled to be at Laguna Champ at the Champ Car next month. Good luck. Good luck.
Oh,
All right.
and I think Ian is from Apex Adjacent is planning on running with them at
He is.
Laguna.
Yeah. He was asking us some advice on how to practice for that track and on iRacing. So yeah, hopefully they'll have a good time down there. Lucky Dog was at Chuckwalla, waving their arms and fueling up the generator to keep the lights on in the pooper. Lucky Dog unfortunately only had 38 cars that started on Saturday for the 7-hour race. The winner went to Colfab, who also took the fastest lap. Second was Zip Tie Racing, and third was Spacey Racing. Now Sunday only had 29 cars, so I'm guessing it was a bad Saturday. Colfab won again on the same lap. 6 seconds back was Spacey Racing. That's pretty close no matter how you cut it.
Yep.
And Team Cat was 1 lap back to take third.
Obviously, the Halloween Hooptiefest was this weekend, but that's the main topic, so we're not going to cover it here. People won. We wrenched. We'll talk all about it. Main topic. Listener feedback time.
All right, we didn't post as much as we hoped. I know I took a lot of pictures. I think everybody did. But thank you for all the likes for the pictures that we did show you on Facebook. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead. You go.
That's you, Chris.
He's on mute and he's stuck or something. Nope, you're on mute still. So you're still
Yeah.
on mute.
Sorry, on Facebook we posted pics of the fantastic replica of Gojira Honda that the team with the Volkswagen made us, and this thing is amazing. Go look at the pictures. Of course, someone had to point out in Mental's current look. Patrick L said, you guys are so generous at adopting that homeless man and bringing him to the track.
I'm just trying to figure out my life, man. One day at a time.
People went all the way down there and they posted pictures of that too. So I also posted a picture of Jeff using the torch to remove the tie rod lock nut on the Mazda. There was a fair share of quotes with General Wacom problems and a funny meme saying, "Damn it, Jim."
Hold on a second here. I am going to share the picture of.
I mean, if you wait a second, I could just go get it.
That's fine.
The nut or the
There it
car?
is.
Yeah.
Oh, the car.
So I thought this was good because it really shows the just amazing detail on this thing. It was, and we should mention that this was made 3D printed by the people who felt bad because they're the group that lost the tire and messed the Honda up. So
It was car number 38. It's a a second generation Jetta. They were in contention for C all weekend. Really good
They
team,
were,
actually.
yeah.
Really, once they solve their mechanicals, all of a sudden they are in the hunt for a trophy. Great, great crew just across the board. What wonderful people.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, we posted pictures, and I did a TikTok, mark it off your bingo card, of our track walk, which we always love. We always get something out of. I would say it was one of the better track walks we've done in a while. Brandon C said, I hope someone pointed out the best places to trail break. Don't worry, we absolutely talked about trail breaking. Our recent trail breaking episode changed the way I drove in at least 2 different turns. And I got to experiment with some different ways to trail break and things. So Chris and I had several conversations over the weekend. Good, Bethel.
I actually had during BS and tech inspections, had 3 drivers come up exactly the same way. They're like, you know what? I hadn't realized that I was trail breaking, and it made me more conscious of what I'm doing. And across the board, the people that at least came to talk to me about it said that they were feeling faster and more confident.
We helped someone.
I had the same experience, actually.
Holy crap.
A car that was on the other side of our garage stopped me and said, I listened to this on the way down there, and I was in the same boat of not realizing I did it, and now I'm going to practice it. So, yep, I had the same thing.
Just another quick shout out for Ross Bentley for his fantastic paper, which spurned the episode and where we got a lot of our information, obviously from reflecting on our years of racing and what he was telling us.
Mm-hmm. Now, off to something absolutely not related to meat space racing, but we're going to talk about I Suck at Racing, because this Monday was the 2021 season 1 finale, the Monza Monday finale. Now, overall went to Zhao Lu, but we were at Monza for an Enduro, and he is the newest alien. But the real winner was Mr. Rogers, who was in 17th, and that was randomly picked ahead of the event. Eric Rude joined not just the regular commentating crew for Ryan Bearded Sim Racer Bauer, but a good bit of his actual production crew, which is a big deal. Keep an eye on that team, because they now have officially are running NASCAR sanctioned events. They were very excited because Dale Jr. was going to be working on some of their events and popping into the commentator's booth.
Wow.
Yes, and they are handling the Porsche Club of
Donnie
America.
right now is so like
Yeah. And they are handling the Porsche Club National E-Racing Championships. Now, among the booths, we talked about Halloween. Eric added even more trivia, which we'll talk about in just a minute, and the merits of various Crocus albums. Well, Monday, we did skip our E1R race because we were doing this one, but we're going to be back E1R racing next Monday.
awesome sauce. Does anybody have any way to transition to saying hi to Chrissy's mom, or are we just going to say hi to Chrissy's mom and thank her for all the fantastic cookies?
Yeah, let's just do that.
So now it has gotten to the point where Chrissy's mom's cookies have to be rationed and apportioned appropriately, because random people I've never met were coming to me and asking, how do I get some of these
Got any of them cookies?
Got
Got any of them cookies?
Not any more than peanut butter bars.
Oh, that's right.
Kim was hoarding hers. Like she had them like hidden, like underneath her table.
The peanut butter and jelly bars were definitely the hit. Randomly, I think the most surprised person to get some cookies was the security guard who showed up to make sure the hot tub didn't electrocute us and was very nice to us. And we're like, quick, get him cookies. Get him cookies.
Good. I'm so glad. Oh, that makes me happy. Yeah. The big hit was.
He was a big dude. So some cookies.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. I ran and got him. I remember.
He got excited about Uncle Dave's birthday cake too. So.
I think that's up his alley. The big hit was the salted caramel whoopie pies. As soon as
I didn't get one.
I
didn't get one. I missed them.
As Uncle Dave said that this was like the most amazing thing he's ever had, they went like hotcakes.
I am a whoopie pie fan. So
I had literally 50 years on this planet, never heard of a whoopie pie, even all the times that I
didn't live in Pennsylvania. That's why.
Right. So one guy showed up with a bunch of pre-packaged store
I saw them. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to say they were bad. They were just, they were mass-produced pre-packaged ones. And then the 38, the same team that made those, the awesome replica
Civic.
of the Honda, showed up with the white marshmallow and then the peanut butters, and those were unholy good. But then just like literally the 4-pane meme of enlightenment. Chrissy's mom's.
Oh, good.
Holy
You got
crap.
one. That's good. I'm glad.
Oh God. My entire concept of what whoopie pie should be is completely out of calibration now. Because having never had one, I tried like a bite of a store-bought one, then tried the 2 homemade ones, which were amazing. And then Chrissy's mom. Yeah, I'm ruined.
Now tomorrow, since I don't have to go to work because my PCR test is not back, I will go to the local Amish market and get myself some peanut butter and chocolate whoopie pies.
They're good.
Do Amish even allow whoopie? I mean, it's just sounds like something a little too extravagant.
Actually, they're very fine with it in Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
Not so much in blue ball.
Main topic time.
Oh, you did an Amish stroke and somebody and we missed it. Darn it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, he did that on purpose. Just cut that one right off.
Yeah.
Not so much in blue ball is what he said. Main topic time. We were at the Halloween Hooptiefest and we're going to review it. Do we start with the win? I'll start with the winners really quick, just because they were both friends of ours. Overall was Momrath Racing. Two drivers in Momrath Racing this weekend. They were just, I think they ended up 3 laps over Black Betty / newly painted Blue Betty. I'm still going to call it Black Betty. I did not know this, and thank you whoever put it in the notes. Betty did a 121.2 for the fastest lap in the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, that is smoking. Do we know which driver did that?
Yes,
Aaron.
we do. But I mean, come on.
Aaron.
Yeah. I mean, you knew when you saw fastest time of the weekend.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Bruce has been able to set fastest time frequently.
Bruce
But
Bruce is very
just come back.
consistent. Yeah. And Bruce he will set 10 laps within half a second of it. But yeah, the fastest lap.
It's great to see Bruce back in the car this week.
Yes, and
I'm so happy he brought his wife.
And he only puked a little. So
then he went faster.
Yes.
So to that end, Betty rolled through penalty, and all of a sudden Kurt is like walking around going, "Oh God, where are the Clorox wipes? Where are the Clorox wipes?" And we're like, "What?" He goes, "I just touched something pukey, and now it's on me." And I'm like, "Oh, Betty was in. That's great." He apparently didn't get the memo. Never lean into Betty. Never lean into Betty after Bruce is driven.
Puke aside, this was the classic battle between the frequently flawless BMW, who at one point in the weekend forgot to put in her hood pins, and the frequently flagged and tagged and bagged RX-7, who was actually pretty clean this weekend.
They were,
but not clean enough because the slight damage that they took to the front end cost them probably the laps that they would have needed to win.
Well, and
they had a pass under yellow.
Pass under yellow, yeah.
2 of them, in fact, yeah.
But Amanda was not without wiener stepping herself. In addition to the hood pin incident on Sunday morning, which was frightening as hell to watch.
You got to pin it to win it.
Yeah, it's scary as hell to watch. And then, but on top of that too, they'd had some calculated missteps. So it really was a true battle. And right up until Sunday afternoon, there were 3 or 4 cars.
I should say we should mention the Falcon. I mean,
the Falcon was there, but they used up their tires. Yep. But they also
had electrical issues.
Yeah, they were in command all day Saturday. 847 was as high as 3rd. They were very threatening.
That's Squid Rope. 847
Squid Rope. The 99 Johnson's Toyota, the older, slower Solara,
the black one,
which doesn't come to penalty ever, was right there leaning on everybody. And man, one day it's going to be their race.
And then Cressida.
Cressida
is 4th on Sunday afternoon at the end of the day.
It was comfortably in 4th
with only 1 forward gear. Yeah, man, Steve was just wheeling that thing. It was awesome.
Well, what about the others? Anybody know any of the other classes?
Yeah, Class B was well earned by the Rusty Tier and their Fiero.
Yay!
I can't believe this team has stuck with this car for this long. And twice they've won classes and gone. And they said the same thing. I can't believe it's going still, and it somehow did. And they were like 6th overall in a Fiero.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Do you want to know what they have done since their Class C win?
Everything. 4
No.
times.
No, they just worked on driving clean and they focused on their pit stops. And that is enough to take you from a Class C win to a Class B win.
Well, it was never not fast. It was always broken.
It's definitely faster than it used to be. I used to have I think a 3.1 or a 2.8. Now that's got one of those 3500 or 3900, the newer generation of narrow angle GM-V6s.
The 3900, is that the high value V6?
It is the high value. You got it.
Where's Rude?
They just, and this is where Rude, speaking of Rude will start screaming, stop trying to go fast and start trying to just go. Their pit stops are less than 3 minutes. It's just a great team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You don't get there no matter how powerful your Fiero is without being really clean and really good pit stops.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They have no idea what they're going to do now to be in a threat for A. They'll figure it out.
Nothing at all.
LS.
Yep. Class C, finally, Manny, Elmo's Revenge, those folks got their second Saturn, the slow, basically stock SL1, into a win in Class C and second place in trivia, which got them a small bottle of bubbles. And Manny's team, being as wonderful as they are, they also sold their spare engine from their B-Class Saturn wagon to the Heroic Fix Knights of Classic Boar. They were a new team in a Saturn wagon. You could tell they were as green as the paint on their car.
Yeah. Car was dark, like British racing green, and still like polishable. It was like shiny.
Yeah, they just built that thing.
They were broken all the time.
Or in Bouncy Box when they weren't broken.
Yeah, yep.
Had to bust out the classic saran wrap on that one. Had them roll through.
They seemed amicable, though. They seemed like, I think we're going to talk about them later. No?
This is the time. Go ahead and talk about it.
After that, they came back into penalty a fourth time, and Kurt was this close to just putting it on the trailer. And one of the guys comes over and goes, I just walked through this whole stupid paddock in my shoes, in my racing shoes. My feet are killing me, and you're pulling this crap? And so that straightened them out until they blew out their differential, which of course Manny immediately knew how to fix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, good. Screwed went to was a tragic issue with car number 27, and they're only their second race. They got one lap on test day, spent 2 days wrenching before they realized they were done. Realizing they were done on Saturday morning. What they do
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. I'm sorry, I apologize.
To make it work.
What they do, spent the rest of the day wrenching on other teams' cars, which is very nice. Org's choice went to the MIB themed Camaro of 20, number 20 Zappum. Also a very shiny car. It looked very nice. It looked nice. What a great crew, costume, and themed hard.
It wasn't. It was the same car that they ran at Thompson, but they went and did all the body work on it and then painted it and themed it up.
Were they in penalty very much?
Couple times,
not so much Saturday, Sunday, as they started to push it. And then I think the team owner, they had one minor issue where a guy in the gloves just misthreaded the gas cap. So we had to pull him in and give him the, look, you only get one chance at this, and it's not the gas cap. And they brought us back over and they're like, we swear to God, it's the gas cap. And they sent it back out and it was the gas cap. So it's never the gas cap.
Unless
it's the gas cap.
Unless it's really obviously the gas cap. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Now, Judge's Choice was longtime competitors. We've seen this team for a while. 847 Squid Rope, and they're not quite so boring E30. Now they've got the Batman thing. They've got this really great Joker mural on the hood. They've added the wings. They've got the speaker that plays the old school Batman theme. And they're really just settling into their rhythm. They're not as aggro as they used to be. And oddly enough, now they're faster. Not oddly enough, obviously enough. They had a great costume effort. They had 5 generations of Batman. They had a Harley Quinn. They had a Joker. It was just fantastic. They ran as high as third when they broke. Great attitude. Now they had some penalty visits on Sunday and they absolutely owned it. Expect to see some great videos of that team and their wrap up.
Because they kind of fulfilled an iconic children's song with their Batmobile.
We don't want to steal that from the wrap-up video. I will say that the Squid Rope guys are usually like in the first 2 hours, they're like, wow, 847. That's that black BMW. And then like by hour 5 or 6, they're like down in the teens. I don't know if it's mechanical or their driving has again improved of late, I'll say. But they're usually quick and then disappeared out of the standing. So good
and
to
that's
see
what
them hang
happened
on
to
to
them.
it.
They had a mechanical, so yeah. But they fixed it, came back. It was great.
All right. So IOE was the amazingly, how do I say this? Like untouched. What do we say when it's when
Stock.
Survivor.
Stock
It's a
Survivor.
Yeah.
Survivor 82 Escort. That is the chrome bumper Escort with the non-aero front end. Team 969 Team Hesh. Terrible Escort was fighting them all weekend. They just kept sending it out. Any car turning laps, there was only 2 cars that had a slower fastest lap, yet they finished 80th out of 108 cars turning laps. So that was good for them. I was good enough for the IOE because they also costumed hard and lived in their heavy metal all weekend long.
I mean, but that thing is such a like. We work at a gas station and drive this 82 Escort pony and listen to death metal kind of car. It was perfect.
And it looks just like Grandma drove it in 1990.
Yeah.
You know, there's no paint, there's no theme. They literally wrap chains around the chrome bumpers to be their tow hooks. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that and the 99 Malibu. It's like, well, that's the cars that Lemons was supposed to be about.
That's right.
Terrible things like that. All right.
So what should we talk about the actual race, about our experience?
I just want to jump in on the Hesh thing. If you follow their Instagram, they were actually fighting like vapor lock mechanicals. They cut 2 holes in their hood and then glued Tupperware to it to get cooling into it. So when Chris says this is what this is what Lemon's about. Yeah.
That's a modern problems require modern solutions kind of.
Yeah.
Are you telling me in 1984 Escort pony isn't designed for endurance racing?
And yet it finished. And here's all these people with, we added all this horsepower. And they're like, yeah, I brought my teenage son. He set the fastest lap, which was the 3rd slowest, fastest lap of anybody that actually turned laps. And yeah, we still finished, way above everyone.
And they didn't roll. That's nice.
There was a
you know what? And I forgot to put that in there. So we'll talk about the regional.
Same way to the team name.
Absolutely. It was Team Ram Van.
Thank you, Ram Van.
Number 69, and they were in a Scion XA. They had never done anything like this before. I don't even know how they found this because they're not in any of the social stuff. And here's how we know this is the newbiest of new teams. On the side of their car, they have fixed vinyl decal of a ram having intercourse with a sheep, and debated
the silhouette of a ram.
The silhouette
making lambs.
Lambs, and they debated extensively if this was going to be too offensive for Lemons. To which every time I told that joke, everyone busted out laughing. And yes, of course, I introduced them to Donnie and Randy. So they have a new level of what is offensive. They did, unfortunately, get off track and put the car on its roof. So that driver is banned, but Halloween Hooptiefest is rolled back another year. So he's welcome to come back because he'll have served his 365 days after that. The cage didn't move. I took extensive pictures of that for the safety crew. And actually, if they beat the panels back into place, the car's probably going to roll again.
There was a Scion XB. Anybody know the
XA,
sorry.
2004.
05 to 08 -ish.
04, yes. So yeah, and just I mean, you want to talk about just misguided. And so they were kind of wandering around, and one of the great quotes out of this was, I always feel like the weirdo at my job, and here, man, I'm not even close. Naturally, so they spent a sizable portion of Saturday night hanging out with the Half Dan and the Limitarians.
That's great.
Who gave them collegiate level education on what this entire hobby is about. They had a great time. We all just loved them, and they were just willing to learn anything from anyone. It was fantastic.
Nice. All
Also,
right,
they're like 18. Maybe.
yeah.
One of them's in his 40s. The guy that rolled, but yeah, like some of those kids look like they were 12, but no, they were all
going with 18 as conservative. Yes.
I'm not entirely sure one of them wasn't, but yeah.
All right,
Cool.
our experience. What do we want to talk about? Was there any
Let's go chronologically.
chronologically? Sure, let's do that. We rolled it Thursday. Everything was cool. Betty turned blue. Fantastic paint job on Betty.
True. Yes.
It's
They
about
are-
time Betty had a retheme, and I think it's
Yeah.
it's on brand.
Good
It's
excuse.
original. It's
Yep.
fun.
Yeah.
For those who
It's
aren't
a
there,
towel.
Betty is now Towley, right? Yeah, blue with white stripes and eyes and little hands, and
I hand cut those hands.
Oh man!
And an obsession with Funky Town, and we'll do anything for $20. And don't ever tell Betty or tell Towley that it's the worst car in Lemons, because it'll reply, "You're the worst car in Lemons."
No, you're an RX-7.
You're the worst race car ever.
All right, Friday. How'd Friday go?
Well, we went out at testing. Once the weather cleared up, it was a little damp
Little
in the morning,
damp,
but
yeah.
but we all went out. Got the tire pressure set because they were a little cold from the change in ambient temperatures. Got those set some good times. We're using an Apex Pro telemetry system that we have stolen from Bill and promised to give back one of these days. But it's double-sided taped really well to the dash of the Mazda, so like I was afraid of breaking it when it would come off. So I'll just leave it there. It's fine. So we used that for telemetry, which was nice, and all of us got out in the car for some good laps. Mental, got something
I was
to
gonna
say?
say, if you go to Apex and you type in "Get likes Apex," you get a free suction cup window mount.
Great. Well, Git didn't have any of those to give us, so we taped it to our dashboard.
And they did it. So there's that.
Yep, that's fine. I thought the car felt great. The new trans shifted wonderfully. If you really did something weird, like to put it in second gear up the hill, you could it clawed for traction and did well. It was a little loose in turn 9, which is surprising. That's the only place that we really ever get loose for me.
Ew.
But I thought the car seemed great, so I handed it off.
I think
to
just
these
about
guys.
all of us got loose in 9, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
But the car, I
Sideways.
turned a bunch of 126s right in a row in practice. I feel like that's the number of it's as fast as you're going to get it realistically, without going too crazy. And then handed it off, and everyone else got out there.
And
went out, had a good time.
New Hampshire runs like the smart test day. Just pay your money and drive.
Just a
Yeah.
lunch break.
Yep.
Yeah, I went out, did some 129s back to back, did a bunch of 30s, felt good. I did have goals for the race. I was trying to reset myself back to like endurance pace. I mentioned after the Thompson show that I had driven a little too hair on fire and burned way too much gas and probably wasted a little too much tire and a little too much brake and everything. So the resetting of making sure I'm taking care of the car and doing everything I can, and it totally did not hurt my times at all. I thought my times were right where it needed to be.
I enjoyed the
Yep.
Apex Pro a lot. Yeah, all of our times were pretty close, which made me happy. And yeah, I think track time out on track was uneventful, and we felt pretty pumped, I think.
Yeah.
And all 4 of you guys were within a second of each other, which is really nice. And we got to then do some good.
Jim was the 4th driver.
And Eric.
And Eric. Oh, yeah, that's right. Forgot Eric.
Yep. So then we did some nice comparison with the Apex, showing laps and seeing where the differences were. And that helped us a lot to target our track walk at the end of the night for where do we need to focus. And
Totally.
I
I
think we
know
did.
that we definitely used the Apex data to figure out that I was doing something wrong in 10. And then when we went out to 10, we talked about it, and I now know what I did wrong.
That's actually been a suggestion from one of our listeners. Tim said that we should actually sit down and talk about using data and how to make your team better using data. So that is an excellent sidebar for a future discussion.
Yeah, the data visualization of the Apex Pro is excellent. If only we had like a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that'd be great. Friday. What else? Friday.
Judging.
Yeah, judging. We did our theme. Our
You wanna
theme
talk to
wasn't.
the judge first.
Yeah, we can hear how is judging in general. Then we
That's
can
what I
talk
was
about
getting
the thing we did.
So there's always this odd kind of, flavor to each region. You've got the Gulf region, the Midwest drivers are always really good. Sometimes we get very bored. Eastern tends to be a little aggro, but I was really happy with how many teams came into there with a great hard theme. Amanda and the Momrath crew even all dressed up. You had Towley come in there with Towley. And it was hilarious because Towley is there in costume with Dale as they're doing a technical inspection. Dale's like, "Where's your battery cutoff?" "Battery cutoff's right over there behind the cool shirt." It's like he can't help it when he puts on that costume.
It's not just him, it's anybody that puts on the costume. The problem is that your throat, besides your throat hurting.
Maybe that's what did it to us, Chrissy.
You weren't
doing
in
Towley impressions.
But
I was in Towley.
Were you? When you do Towley too long, your throat really starts to hurt. So it's a real thing. It's like a Towley syndrome or something.
But across the board, so many, and this is, maybe it's because it's New Hampshire, maybe it's because of Halloween Hooptiefest, but just everyone really, really did a great job theming. Really happy to see us kind of get back to that core element of this is fun, not competition. So I loved it. And the bribe game was on point. So good on everybody on that one. And of the themes, the most topical, I would say the most current theme, and this is, it on the surface could seem admittedly biased, but I was not alone in this assessment. The most topical and current theme was in fact the Squid Games theme presented by, what was that team?
That was us.
It was you guys. That was right.
That was us.
It was very well done. And as a sacrifice for her art, Chrissy took a dong to the face.
Like really hard, and Bobbin felt terrible about it
She did.
because it happened to
she
land
did.
when I fell on the ground and hit my head on the concrete. But we did a pretty good job. And
I just want to put up a picture of the Towley because some people may not know exactly what we're talking about. That is Towley the car with Towley the costume. Notice the cigarette, we'll call it, sticking out of the face.
Yep.
Towley's great.
Want to get high?
So we pulled our costumes together on Sunday of last week. We purchased and made it happen. There's parts that you guys didn't even see at judging. We made the slap game, and I had brought a whole bunch of marbles that we played all weekend. So we played all these things, but we figured judging needed to move cars along. So we just did the red light, green light in judging, but we were prepared for everything else.
That was the one that if anybody has seen any of Squid Game, they got that far at least to see that. And plus it was fun to have Bobbin be the red light, green light lady and throw the dong at us. And
top-notch job on Eric for all of the square
Always.
And the circle, and the triangle mask. Well done.
I know.
Yeah,
It
Eric
ended up turning out
themes really well. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was put together quickly.
Yeah, and I loved how the numbers suddenly took on meaning, because of course you had 41 and 141
42
and 42 and
And
then
71,
as they went through all of and 71, as they went through all of the numbers, one person recognized that they almost let one of the nicest numbers go.
I know.
Got it at the last minute.
I made the numbers. That was me. And that's why it was on my shirt. But the sweatshirts actually turned out really nice. So anyway, we had a great time. I'm glad it was topical. People knew what we were talking about, and we had a good time with it. Bruce was really upset that we didn't have cookies that we could cut out. And I was like, dude, we've done everything else. Like, I made money that said money and put it in a Makita box so we could present it to you guys.
Which, if we'd have known, Donnie would have shown up with the stacks and stacks of Hollywood hundreds that he had. That would have been
together. That's fine. I like the money that says money. That was a piece of paper ripped up.
Yeah. And I went up to, we'll just put this in the category of scaring the straights. I went up to some random team that was behind us, and I said, your car is really crappy. Would you like to play a game where you could win money, and if you lose, I get to slap you? And he was like, who are you slapping? Like, he had no idea what I was doing. I was like, come on now, people. He thought I was stepping to him.
Yep, because you're super aggro, Jeff.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I look at Jeff, I'm 90% sure he's trying to start a fight.
But
Yep.
We have not literally freaked out other Lemons racers, I think, since
It's been a while.
the SM theme and the shark and Fantastic Shark. So,
or the producers, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, wow, it's really well done, but I can't believe they did that.
That's
Just
what we were
wait.
going for.
This year, just wait.
Let's
that's
talk
true.
about the race. Saturday green flag.
Actually, let's talk
Oh,
about Friday night.
Friday night, sure. Friday night was the barbecue /
Well,
potluck.
We had a great track walk.
Track walk.
Oh, track walk. Do the track walk first, then I'll do the barbecue.
And we brought a lot of people with us. We always
Yeah, I caught you guys into turn 10. There was like 50 people. It was the Forrest Gump scene where he just
We were the
suddenly
Pied
stops.
Piper.
He just suddenly stops and goes, I'm kind of tired. I'm going to go home now.
We had all kinds of people. People came over to us early in the day and said, "Are you doing a track walk? We want to come with you." So they came. We said, "Well, okay, let's do it."
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm glad we did because we talked about a lot of things and that was very helpful. So yeah, we had a great track walk. We were there till basically sun was down when we were back in. All the lights were on, and so it took us a long time. We actually tried to go a little bit faster than sometimes we usually do, but track walks are just so great because you can walk and we scuff and we lay down, we turn around, and we do all these things to just get such a great picture of the track when you're going down something at 65 or 55, or if you got these people behind you, you're not noticing the banking or the angles or the loss of camber at this part of the corner, and you do when you're walking. So yeah, we had a great time.
So if you
track walk.
manage a track, just give the teams an hour for a track walk.
90 minutes would be better.
It was
90 wins would be better, but whatever you can give up. But I feel like it really helps from a safety perspective and an enjoyment.
Everyone gets to see where the flag stations really are there and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't really fix anything in the car that night because everything was fine so we could tell at least. And we swapped wheels and tires and checked it over. It seemed okay and sent it. And then we ate port burgers and got in the hot tub and
we kind of missed the potluck barbecue because we were track walking, but I will mention that Brian Hirth, who can frequently be seen wearing a pumpkin or a chef's hat on his head, he organized and brought his little backyard pizza oven, which everybody said was fantastic. Looked like they had a decent sized crowd. Wasn't huge. I think the potlucks do better on Saturday night than they do on Friday night. I'm going to make that bold statement.
Alex had to have a lot of promotion too to really be effective.
Yeah, I think it was kind of thrown together short. I won't say last minute, but shorter time frame.
And I think that is one of those. In the past, when it's been done, the Button Willow race, the Thompson race, you make it look so easy that someone just goes, "Oh, well, if I just send out an email that says potluck, it'll happen." So, and this is if you're thinking about hosting a potluck at a race, absolutely go for it. Start a month ahead of time. Build a Google spreadsheet.
Before that,
it takes a lot of work, and it will go very, very well. And Lemons people are willing to help, but it's not easy.
I think Brian had a different theory. I think he wanted to feed everybody pizza. Like he less wanted like to have hundreds of people show up and bring lots of food and bring the entire paddock together. He wanted to throw a bunch of pizzas to a bunch of people. And I think that was more of his
which he
style.
Absolutely did. And they were fantastic. He brought his little pizza.
Yeah, I missed it.
Was really, really good.
Well, but there was a lot. He only brought 20 pies. I was there when I was standing there with you, and the table was completely empty. People were going and opening their, what is that?
I'm trying to get Jeff to see something. Keep talking.
I walked over and there's 2 crock pots, and people would open them and it would be empty. So people, like, as soon as he put a pizza down, the people scrambled to get one piece. So I don't know that the expectation was appropriate, that it wasn't like he had enough pizza to literally feed the whole.
No, I don't think he wanted that. Well, and we had people bring dishes Saturday night because they thought it was Saturday night, not Friday night.
Right.
So
I think your mental's exactly on par. You need to hype it if you're going to do it. Get other people involved. Tell people what they need to bring, and people will do it. But
harass them specifically. What are you bringing? What are you bringing? What are you bringing?
And I know,
reach out to teams. Yes.
And the nature of that is you want to be just open and inclusive, and that's fine. But don't be afraid to be directive. Hey, I was thinking about bringing, egg salad. No, I need you to bring paper plates. but despite all that, it wasn't bad.
It was good.
It was actually really good.
Absolutely.
And yes, and absolutely, Brian is so happy just sitting there making pizza. He was spinning the dough. He's doing the whole 9 yards. It was fun to watch.
We should also mention that known Miata racer and Cordoba abuser Alex Levinson was tending a fully stocked bar and making lemons themed drinks for the paddock. Brian and Alex both put out tip jars, and all the money went to the charity, and they raised a decent amount of money for Speedway Children's Charity, I believe was the.
It was several $100s. They both put it in Kim's hand bright and early on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And this is something that Tyler Stank had talked about, because he tended bar, just gave away drinks at Gingerman. And if you've got a bartending skill, and if you've never been a bartender, you don't have bartending skill, so don't try it. But if you've got a drink making skill, like Tyler can make these really good old fashions, and obviously Alex has been a bartender for quite some time. Yeah, throw out a little Venmo account, coordinate it well ahead of time. And then people who don't have cash can absolutely get the Venmo of the charity or Venmo of the person that's running the charity. You can set all this stuff out there, but coordinate it ahead of time. And it's a really good way to help out the Lemon Sherry for that weekend.
Great.
Awesome.
So everyone was in great spirits for Saturday morning after doing all that.
Yeah, actually, the paddock went to bed nice and early, if you ask me.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Lots
Some
of
of
the
them.
paddock went to bed nice and early.
Wasn't it? It was.
You
That was
pack a
Thursday.
lunatic.
That was
That was
Thursday.
Thursday night.
Thursday
That
into
was
Friday.
the bad ones. Yeah, that was the bad one for our paddock. But anyway, Saturday, Eric started off. He was out there for 45 minutes, and he came in. We got Jeff in the car, and Jeff, you did your planned 80-minute stint, because we were running 5 drivers, shorter stints, casual racing with friends. How'd everything go for you out there, Jeff?
Great, actually. I thought. Again, my goal was going back to that endurance racing philosophy where I kept a decent safety bubble around me, and I made sure that I did fast, consistent, but did not abuse the equipment. And that was like the number one goal, get back to clicking lap after lap after lap that I could do all day. And I could have, I could have done 4 hours if we had fuel for it and the team for it. And I think that, I just don't think that I could. I'm trying to put this in a term that most people get, is I felt more like I was driving like myself, and the lap times were coming down and everything was doing well. And I really just, you when you get into the flow state and you just see all the things around you happening the way you want it to, and everything works, everything worked.
So nice to hear. I got in after Jeff. It was fine. I think I was just over braking in one. I think I see.
Oh, Chrissy, don't make me say that I was perfect driving. I was making lots of corrections and moving braking points and trying different ways to trail brake, but I had the wherewithal to experiment.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
That's good though. You should be doing that, especially in a longer shift. Do that. You can't just go out and do it the same way the whole time. Like I do the same thing. I'm changing stuff all the way. Sometimes it makes things happen that I don't want things to happen, but experiment, try things.
Yeah. So my stint was fine. I was midday. I was fast enough. I was still within times with everybody. Could have gone faster, could have done things a little bit better, but for the most part, it was a fine stint. I had a fine time. Then we put Jim in, right?
Yep.
Right.
And Jim was out for about, say, 45 minutes, close to probably around that, when he said, so the car veers when I hit the brakes and the steering wheel's not straight, and I hit a curb. So we bring the car in.
I feel like that report that wasn't necessarily in chronological order.
It was about how
it's about right.
Yeah. It's pulled it in. It's definitely steering wheel's not straight. Okay, we're looking around for stuff, and we see, the left front ball joint has come out of the lower control arm.
It was a pretty fantastic braking.
Yeah,
it was a major.
It didn't come
break.
apart. It just, the ball joint slid out of the control arm, so it was kind of being held up at the top by the pinch weld. So it was loose. You'd grab it, and we could move the wheel a couple inches. So we fortunately had a new control arm, put that all in. Okay, great. Then we said, well, all right, the alignment was off. We went to go to the alignment and it was way off. Like the thrust angle
not
was
even
way
close
off. The
to
rear
where it
was
should be,
off,
yeah.
right? So we said, all right. So we start at the rear and get the rear aligned. And we think we've got it. And we go to the front. The thrust angle is way off. So we're got to get that all set and to get the thrust angle right. That's when Jeff used his torch to get that lock adjuster so we could actually tighten it down. And we get it down, and then I go
on
out
a tie rod end.
Tie rod end, yep.
Tie rod
And
end,
I'm
yep.
backing out, and I noticed the car's binding a little bit, like a brake is hanging up a little bit. Like the car doesn't roll quite as freely as it usually does. I said, oh well, it was just sitting there. We were just doing all kinds of things to it. Who knows, Chrissy?
When you pulled out, we all looked at each other, specifically me and Jeff, and say, he's gonna radio, and not too long he's gonna say, the car's not. I'm
It's
pretty
not
sure-
perfect.
I'm pretty sure Jeff
There's
said this.
It's not perfect. I don't like it.
I didn't even say it. I think he said it.
I said it.
We're like, how long? Let's wait. How long? And you were out for longer than we planned, but we figured you would be out for 2, 3, 4 laps and be like,
yeah, and I was
Okay,
I was out there. It was doing fine.
I will
initially.
be the first to pick on Chris, but I have
You will?
seen
really?
absolutely.
Really?
Oh
I
no, that's Chrissy's job.
Where did this whole the car has to be perfect if he built it? But
Let
I've
me
seen
roll
this,
my eyes.
I have seen this guy wrestle some absolute garbage heaps, one of which I prepped around a track consistently, knowing
but
that
it's-
he is fighting
It's
garbage.
his car. It's the car that he built
prepped
and
it.
knows.
Yeah, he prepped it. And let me just say that wasn't going to stop him. It wasn't going to make him not set fastest lap. He was just going to get on the radio and bitch about it. That's what we were
Or
expecting.
he doesn't even have to get on the radio. I can see in his brain that he's saying, "I don't like this. This is not good. No." And then until it's bad enough that he can't do it, and then it comes in.
And I think this is less of a comment. No, it's a comment on Chris, but it's equally a comment on how whacked the suspension settings were.
Sure.
Like
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
It's just that
The suspension settings. What did we have? We had like 3/4 of an inch of toe out at one point.
We had a 1/2 inch of toe in. The thrust angle was not even landing anywhere near.
Like it wasn't even on the
back,
gauge.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim had to put a shoe next to it so you could see where the laser was. To get
Yeah, we
in
did
the
some
lineup, right.
major adjustments to try and get it back into spec.
So I had 8 laps. I did set a fast lap during that time. And then the car had the last 2 laps. So the car was getting notably worse. Like notably worse.
Perfect.
Worse as like loose, twitchy,
Just
acceleration.
Inconsistent. Like it was doing
Broken.
strange things and it wasn't handling the way it's supposed to. So I bring it back in and I was like, just check it. Something's wrong. And we go, Jeff starts grabbing wheels. Front wheels are fine. Goes around the left front wheel, right
We
front wheel.
assumed it was the front because that's
Right.
what Jim hit.
Yep. Right rear wheel, all fine. And then finally someone bothers to look at the left rear wheel and grabs it and it goes like clunk, 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 clunk. There's
Wasn't
a
that
huge problem.
Kreger's? Didn't Kreger's walk over and
No,
do that?
it was
was Jeff.
me.
Oh, okay.
It was Jeff. And then we showed everybody. Turns out we cracked a hub all the way through. So the part that the lug stud's attached to was not attached in any way, shape, or form to the rest of the wheel bearing.
It went like this. It went like
Yeah,
this.
And later on, one of the guys
that's
from
not good for podcasts.
Lamino's team comes over and says, "Oh, that was your left rear wheel, right? Yeah, I could see that when you're driving around. That wheel's moving all over the place. Like it was, you could watch it." Yeah.
Speaking of
So
which,
we-
Lamino did quite well this weekend. Actually,
did.
got his car to run. Yeah,
He did, and he only had surprise butt sex once, So, which is great.
and he was the receiver.
It was. And that
Here,
was,
let me
even better.
show this quick little video here.
All right.
You can
So
see the
you can
crack.
see
what
it
you're seeing
spinning.
is actually the wheel is completely off. The brake, everything is off there. This is literally just the hub where the wheels mount, and Jeff is wiggling this, and it is easily moving 1/4 of an inch.
It's the hub flange is not attached to the wheel bearing anymore. It's
Yeah.
it's not falling off because it broke at a taper. So fortunately, it's not coming off.
The wheel did not get loose.
Right.
The
And then-
Batmobile did not lose its wheel.
No. And then as we were doing the rear brake on the other side, because we noticed the rotor was a little out of whack, which might not have been a rotor at this point because the other hub also had a crack, and it was not cracked through yet, but it was going to be soon. So, and then also the other thing we were fighting with the day is the starter was still intermittent at best.
Yes,
which is fine. When you're in the paddock.
Chris did mention that you had to hit this with a hammer to make it work.
But there's nothing like pushing your car, which we were not the only people to do this. When you get out of the car and then you fuel the car and then you go.
I will push the Mazda 3 or the Civic 10 times before I have to push the boat once. The boat was the worst. When that thing heat soaked its starter.
I'm just still saying it sucks.
So hard.
It is just not fun to when you get out of the car and you have to say, now you have to push the car.
Yeah. So then Jim went to the parts store while the rest of us did some glamour shots. And then we spent the rest of the night putting the car back together the right way. The starter took forever because it's in this little tiny hole that you can't reach, which 3 weeks ago, I had the whole powertrain sitting on the floor. It would have taken 5 minutes, but it was wrong with it then. So why would I replace it? So, but that took me like 2 hours, by which time Jeff got all the wheel bearings replaced, got the alignment done, did all that stuff while I was doing.
We should say we took our time because we were also dominating the trivia contest and having an adult beverage or two in between there.
And we will talk about that trivia contest. We will talk about that trivia contest because it was awesome.
Yeah, let's roll right into trivia because that's a great time for it.
Yes.
Tell us more, Mental.
So Saturday night, and I know this is a controversial figure sometimes, but Jason Hopkins was trying to coordinate some of this. He also was trying to coordinate some of that stuff on Friday night. So he was helping with both of these. So the trivia, it was Adam Owens. And now you can find Adam Owens. He is the morning show guy on 95.3 DNH in the Poconos in Pennsylvania.
I had no idea. I talked to the guy for 20 minutes. He never mentioned that he was on the radio.
And he is also the afternoon drive time guy on 105.3. They're both owned by the same media conglomerate. And he was at a Arrive and Drive with the Boston Wineries in their Haterade car. He also has a side gig. He does trivia night in local bars, and he did a Corpses in Cordoba trivia challenge. It was great. It was movie car trivia. It was Lemons trivia. It was fantastic. It was well orchestrated, and it was packed. I did not think it was going to be as big as it was. Kim is still very mad at me and Craigers because we were on the Three Pedal Mafia team, which in our defense, I've been Three Pedal Mafia longer than I've been Lemon staff. So I know where my loyalties lie. And then when I tried to leave, Chrissy threatened to hurt me, and I'm still a little scared. But it was a great, just what a wonderful time. And if you're online and you're looking for some entertainment, go ahead. Literally, you can listen to 95.3 online. We actually have Adam Owens' Facebook on our profile. He is a terrific human being across the board. Wonderful, wonderful times. They had all kinds of Lemons trivia, and we ran away with it. We crushed it.
It's hard not to run away with it when some of the questions we were about, and we were there.
like, it was the only presidential candidate to ever run Lemons. Well, he ran with Three Pedal Mafia. So of course
drove our car.
Yes. I think he wore your helmet.
He wore my helmet and Jim's suit. Yeah.
So of course we know who that is. It's like, oh, well, the race was held at what racetrack when it first started? Well, I was there. So of course I know. Yeah. And we talked about Manny and the Elmo's Revenge team, and he was there for the other rest of it. So we just absolutely outpaced every team because we were there for all of it, but it was still a wonderful time and highly recommended. We're actually in negotiations to try and have him on the show for a trivia episode. It's going to be fantastic.
Yes, we're going to figure something out, and it might be the four hosts against each other for some.
No,
don't worry, Chrissy. We'll throw in cookie trivia.
I'm not even coming. I'm sick that day. I am not even. I did not get. I got
Chrissy
one
can be
question.
the hostess. She could be the hostess. They give her the questions.
Vanna, I got the Vermin Supreme was the only question I think I got right because he drove with us. I literally didn't know.
Well, the best part is we were over answering the questions. He was like, what did Mad Max drive? And he only wanted Ford Falcon, and we're like, no, it was the Ford Falcon XB.
And afterwards, he's like, I'm reading these answers, and I was prepared to give you guys a lot of leeway. Then I started reading the detail, and I'm going to look at all of you and say, nerds.
Yeah,
because there were several teams that went into great depth of the explanation of the car.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So also, Elmo's Revenge, they were second. It was hilarious.
Cool.
Yep.
I guess we'll move to Sunday race.
Cars back together, best we can think of, and went racing. Who started Sunday? Jeff, you started.
I did. I started Sunday.
Yeah.
I think I did another 80 minutes, right? I don't know what I did.
No, you were,
more.
it was almost 2 hours because
okay.
We were doing 4 drivers that day. And so 7.5 hours, 4 drivers, that's an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely used every ounce of fuel in the vehicle. And like I said, my 80% tranquilo driving did very well. The only frustration I had was what I really found, and some people said that the driving was really bad. Some people said it was really like crashy and like I saw a lot of people who didn't have enough racecraft, and it was very annoying to watch people race side by side, door handle to door handle, and neither of them can get by the car in front of them. And they don't know that I'm behind them. And they don't realize that there are faster cars on the track and giving leeway. So
the Mazda's got headlights. Flash your headlights at them.
You know what? I didn't even think of that. I could have done that.
Don't think I haven't.
Yeah. So that was really poor Glenn was out there in his S10 blowing so much oil smoke. I actually got so much oil covered on the windshield. And Chris, as I changed, Chris was like, the windshield washer bottle is still in there. I was like, nobody told me I would have cleaned the windshield.
You helped build the car.
I don't remember what we took out and what we left. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is the thing, and this is the difference between a newbie Lemons build and an experienced Lemons build. Oh yeah, I'm leaving the air conditioner. I'm totally leaving the heater, leaving the defroster, leaving the wipers, leaving the washer bottle. Yeah, no, it's great. We're gonna leave all this crap.
Did anybody talk to Glenn? Was his truck like dying or?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, the blow by was amazing, and by the end he had 3 psi of oil pressure at idle.
Boy.
And 20 psi at speed, but when he braked it was go down to 3 again.
And not just him. Yeah. That 40 Trans Am was blowing a lot of smoke. They got flagged a couple times for having smoke, and there were some other cars with some oiling issues. The Saturn that Mandy lent his engine to, the engine stayed together, differential, so they were dumping a ton of
Egan's ventilated their transmission Saturday.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bloodbath in there, and this is where like Zappum, the Camaro guys, decent guys, but they just really were not cognizant of the things around them. They didn't do anything bad. They weren't dangerous. They weren't.
It's their second race.
It's their second race.
They haven't built that larger sense of awareness.
Yeah. That's
Same
what I'm saying.
The Lancia. That car did some weird things.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And you expect that car to be better driven, having seen it on the West Coast.
But I heard a lot of other Lemons drivers complaining that people were, they're dangerous. They're really aggro. They're really angry. They're doing things purposely bad. I was like, no, I just think everybody in Lemons needs a couple more track days. I mean, that's really what it is. I think it was lack of.
Yeah, attribute to malice, that which can be explained by stupidity.
Exactly what I felt in my shift.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad for the track staff because they would have a full course yellow because 3 cars are broken down. And as they are collecting all 3 of these cars, 2 more cars would break down.
I was that good.
I heard a lot of competitors complaining about the flagging. I'm not going to correct them.
They're working on it. Dale was aggressively involved in getting them on there. By Sunday, I think the staff was really starting to figure out what we were asking for. They had a lot of new flaggers. There's a shortage. There's a shortage of flaggers in this country, and what's happening is tracks are just hiring young people and they're not training them. Yeah. And so, Lake both Dale and Ken are graduates of the Lake Erie Flagging School, which is basically the Great Lakes HPDE version of flagging. And it's so their standards are high. And when Lemons comes to town, I believe this with all my heart, we make those flaggers better because Dale and Ken will train them.
Yeah, there were very few of them. And I think that was part of the problem. When we went to give the flagger bribes, Chrissy and I were like, where is everybody?
We're like nine then. Although we were there at the wrong time.
Well, one of them you kept in the hot tub till too late, but yes.
All right. Then Jim went out, didn't hit any curbs this time, brought the car back in the way it left. That was wonderful. We were really happy about that. I put another 13 and a half gallons in. Like we figured out like how to, that's what the car will take. Like the needle is falling off at the bottom of the thing. It's
how long does the light
gave
stay
you a
on?
sunburn. Yep. Right. That's about where it does. Then Eric got in for a while, did 45 minutes or so. And then he had a good time, was doing well out there. And I got to say, Jeff, like you had some 128s during race time. So
I believe it.
Yeah, you improved your times there, so that was great. And then I went out for the last part of Eric's shift. I went till I ran out of gas, basically, and then went out again for the rest of the day. And I had a black flag, which is so strange. I know.
Holy crap!
Yeah, believe me, I thought the same thing. So I'm coming into through 10 into 11, and I was trying a little different line. The whole thing. And I looked in my mirror for a second, and then between doing all that, I found I was going faster than expected in a slightly different place, and realized I wasn't gonna make that left, that where it jogs out at 11, and there's that huge ditch. I wasn't gonna make it with the right side wheel staying out of that ditch. So I said, well, I'm not hitting that. So I braked what I could, and I went way right into the smooth grass. That is not a ditch over there. It's actually like, because no one ever goes over there. Okay, because I didn't want to hit that ditch. So then I immediately just went right in. I don't know if the flag even got there by the time I got there, but said, yeah,
I actually think that's the same place where Jim hit, because he said he hit it between 11 and 12.
Yeah.
So
this is the worst part. I
avoided the ditch though.
Yeah. This is the worst part. If you're driving with Three Pedal Mafia and you get a black flag, especially if you don't get one very often, you're screwed, because the judges are done with you and the whole team is over there and they won't let you go for another 4 minutes.
We should say that is if you're casually racing between friends, because when Betty came in for his pass under yellow, we were like, oh, get out of front, Joe Freak, get out, Joe Freak, get out, Joe Freak. Go. So we just know sometimes it's more fun.
Chris, but Chris never gets a black flag.
Yeah.
So
it's been years. Yeah.
That's why we needed to do.
And this was totally my fault.
Did we ever figure out the mystery contact?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was an E30 that tried to run it, that was being quite aggressive for a while.
Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't. That was the
an
first
orange
black flag.
E30.
Hold on. Wait, he just mentioned his first black flag. He didn't get to the second one.
Right, because there's this orange E30 being very aggressive, and we are in a pack, and the Lancia was at the front of this pack. I get similar part of the track actually, and the Lancia made a really abrupt move while going quite slowly, and so the whole pack that was kind of behind it all just kind of paused for a second, like, oh, what are you doing? And moved over a little bit to the left to see what was going on. E30 guy wasn't watching that. He was super aggro and trying to pass me. Went up the left along the cone line that comes up as you're going onto the straight. Realized I'm not going to make this. Pushes right. And apparently the front of his car somehow touched the Mazda. There's not a mark on it, but I don't know why the flaggers saw anything. We got close, but he ended up scraping the wall and basically just about spinning out on the straight. But I got the flag for that.
Did you get a flag for that? Because I didn't see you come in.
That one
that.
I actually they called my number. Yeah, that was it. So I don't know what the flagger saw, but okay.
They both got a flag for that one.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's contact. That both are.
Well, I saw the E30 spinning in my mirror, and I said, "Was I involved in that? I don't know." And then
I had one of those moments.
He sat there for 30 seconds, going, "Well, I don't know why I'm here." And Craigers was like, "Really?" just no inkling. And
wall?
eventually he's like, well, I got kind of close to some white car 41. And then here comes Chris. He goes, oh, wait, yeah, no, that was the car that I hit. Oh, no.
That was the car that I hit.
Oh, it's all coming out. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, and their teammate who came over and he was like, don't listen to him. He whatever he's saying, he's like, he's sorry. He's saying this to me, not even to Chris, because I came over and started yelling. And then I was, yes.
Yeah.
That orange, good for them for coming with the apology after the race, but that orange BMW has been flaggy in the past and has been something that I try to give a extra bubble to, because I think they've been a little aggro. So nothing wrong with that. Nothing huge, nothing terrible. Just
it's fine. And hey, nothing. Their car looked fine. Like they lightly grazed the wall. No real damage. That could have been way worse. I was just really happy that didn't go worse for them.
Yeah.
Or anybody really. Rest of my stiff was fine. I was definitely times where I'm just backing off and letting these fools do what they're gonna do. Like, all right, you guys sort that out. I'll just sit back here and wait till something happens, and you go, and that's fine.
Can I talk about the last lap? Are we there yet?
I'm just gonna say that I felt good. I got some good lap times. I got down to 126 a couple times in the race. Car felt nice. Yay. Go, Jeff.
We were all very happy with where we were. We should mention the Cressida was running fourth and blew its transmission / clutch. So they were off the track. Very sad for them. Go ahead.
We know as of tonight, it was definitely a clutch problem first. One of the springs in the clutch
was broken.
To escape.
Yeah.
Yep. And the gearbox has a crunchy third, and that's probably a separate issue that compounded the other. And that, how was Betty doing? Give an update there.
Betty was rolling very fast and attempting to catch Amanda. The Falcon of I'm blanking on their name. Rust in the Wind. Thank you. The Rust in the Wind Falcon had disappeared by mid Sunday, so it was really between them two. There was plenty of space between them and third and fourth, and there was a pass under yellow situation. They were clipping time off of Amanda's car. We would need Donnie to build a spreadsheet to see if they actually would have caught them. But it was close. Amanda thought it was close enough that they kicked it into high gear at the end because they thought they were getting caught. So, but anyway, yeah. So Betty ended up finishing the race in second place. Think 3 laps down. I'm not sure. I'd have to check the records. But they were pretty stable. They were 8 laps in the beginning of the day and just kept chiseling away and chiseling away and chiseling away. They were at one point about 2 laps down, but the pass under yellow pretty much made it uncatchable. So,
actually, they finished the race
6
6 laps.
6 laps, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the Johnson's Toyota 99's old Solara was 4 laps behind them. 4 laps behind that was the Rust in the Wind Falcon Saab Z thing.
Yeah.
But,
6th overall. Bert won.
Yeah, man.
Great to see Bert come back.
That's awesome.
Russ
With so many flags on Saturday, really impressed and amazed how that happens. Like so many flags.
All of them Kim's boyfriend.
Was it all of them?
Richard.
I thought there was. I thought somebody else.
And towards like the last couple, he was just like, I don't even know what I did wrong. I just feel like I'm guilty, and he would just come in just to make sure.
He's not used to driving on that side of the car.
That was one of them. I'm pretty sure he said he wasn't. They flagged, and it was one of those like throw the flag but with no number. Wasn't sure if it was you kind of thing. That was his third though, so you know they could have done really well with that.
Slightly worse than a 3-pedal mafia penalty trip is being, dating Kim, because then you get the bullhorn of, why are you here, boyfriend?
Dude, I would not want to come in on that. Well, oh wait, Chris came in and I yelled him anyway, so it's pretty much the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah. So I do want to mention the absolute last lap of the race. I'm standing on one of the little podium thingies, the little photography platforms, just watching the last lap, and in the second to last lap, there's some sort of trouble in one, flag goes out, double flags. I'm not a fan of the double flags. They were doing that all weekend where they would have 2 yellows in each hand, and they would kind of making like a figure 8, I guess, with the two flags.
It's visible, but you don't know if that's single or double yellow.
Exactly. And that they were using that for local. And to me, 2 yellows means full course. But anyway, so the double yellow flag, it's waving in a figure 8 in turn 1 is visible the entire straight. You can see that the entire straight.
And you should be looking there the entire
and
straight, because
they
if
have the
something
lights
happens,
on too.
But no, the lights weren't on at this point because it was still local in 1.
Okay.
And 25, 30 cars come on the front straight. It is basically the race is over. You can hear them. The checkered is not flying yet. You can hear them all get off the gas. And then there was a section of 4 or 5 cars. One of them was a Prelude that ended up getting a decent amount of damage. And they were passing the green Firebird, the Zappum Firebird, and they all just stayed on the gas the entire time. So it was a group of about 4 or 5 cars, depending whether you count the Firebird Camaro, whatever it was or not. And one was piled up. It was a parking lot past start finish, and they just went full speed right into the traffic. Lots of contact, and I think it hit the wall. Car is extremely damaged, and it was just like I was literally shaking my head because I said I saw it that it was going to happen 5 seconds before it happened, and there was 100 yards to get off the gas. So I feel bad for them and the people they collected because they really bent their car very badly at the very end for no reason. Keep your head up, everybody.
Yeah. It's a shame to crash your car when you're trying to get 27th.
Yeah. And what did the track do? They just went full course yellow and started waving the checker.
Which they don't normally do.
It was that lap. It was
that lap. Yep. They were waiting for Amanda to come by.
And that was actually a Lemons decision. Brad was up there running. He was race control. He said, "Nope, we're not even."
Yeah, it was.
Why bother at that point?
Right.
It's not going to get cleaned up by the time it's over. Right.
You're just going to create more of a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Because it was right at past start stop.
And it could, and it because it was going to be 3 cars.
Yeah.
So.
And there were laps between first, second, and third, so they weren't hustling for anything.
It wasn't seconds between minutes, seconds.
And nothing was going to change with that much full course yellow. Everyone's just going to sit there in a parade.
Right. You're right.
Well,
right.
As the Lementarians blew up a tire on that last lap too.
Yeah.
When did they do that? Were they the cause of the yellow at 1?
No, he drove it in.
Yeah. I don't know where the bit of tire was. That might have been the cause of the yellow at 1, because I saw him in 1A on the side of the road, but eventually he drove it in.
Yeah. But, he said that might have been the cause of the yellow at 1.
Right. Which people didn't have their eyes up.
Yeah. I Half Dan came through and I didn't realize the tire because it was the outside tire. And he was like, I think there's something wrong with my tire. And I'm like, do not use this as an excuse to do a burnout.
Oh no! It was evident that he'd been rolling for a while on nothing.
It was steel belts.
Oh
yeah. Anyway, does anybody want to say anything else about the end of the race or the race in general?
Great. It was a great race.
Great race. Absolutely.
It was a great race.
Yeah.
The weather was fantastic.
It felt like a long time too. The whole race. It felt like, I don't know. Felt like we were there for a while, which was nice.
Yeah.
Weather was.
We did some more wrenching than I wanted to do, but it was all solvable problems, which is nice.
And you had all the spares. High five.
Yeah. Right.
We've had some nasty, rainy, very cold weather.
That was the first New Hampshire race where I wasn't wet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I say good weather.
Fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
I was hoping somebody was going to complain about it. I'm going to complain about it, but then I can't check it off my bingo card because I'm complaining about it. I was cold. I had eight layers on.
It was sweatshirt weather. It wasn't winter coat weather.
I wore a winter coat the whole time. So
Mm-hmm.
mental.
Desert boy was being mocked the entire time.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to talk about how well Sasha's Sentra did, or just Nissans in general?
Really? Because
I don't know what they did.
I saw him a lot.
So
Sasha-
Nissan, what's your
Sasha and I
opinion on
talked a
Nissans?
lot.
No,
They're
What's your
fine.
opinions on Nissans? in
he's trying.
general?
He's trying to get
His car
Power
looks pretty
Nissan
good.
cars.
It looked pretty good.
They're fine. Let's go.
Chrissy, I believe you have got a very pertinent safety topic
I do.
in a segment that we love to call
Just the tip.
Yep.
Tip.
So we're doing Halloween safety, and this is the adult version for Halloween safety. Okay. So
Bow chicka bow wow.
No,
Oh, wait, not
that's
that
not-
adult.
Is it?
No,
It's a sexy safety professional.
it is.
It's a little tiny high visibility vest,
Put your candy
Some
in my
flags.
bag.
right? Little hard hat that's pink.
high-heeled safety boots.
This-
College girl costume,
This
which is
terrible.
lingerie and bunny ears, or
By the way,
lingerie and
if you go as a
kitty
sexy
ears.
safety professional, and I am squarely looking at you, Dr. Florida Man, send us a picture.
Oh, my cheeks hurt.
Yep.
This is not what I'm getting at. This is for okay, anyway. Check your porch light, make sure it's working, but make sure you turn it off if you don't have planning on wow.
sorry.
And we're done. Thanks for joining us.
That qualifies as people skip over Chrissy. 'cause that was
Yeah!
heinous.
Sorry.
Okay, turn it off if you don't want visitors. Just be normal. Don't yell at kids. And make sure your sidewalks and driveways are clear. And this one's for me because we usually have a hose that's draped across the so we make sure that tie things down, figure out what you're doing. Don't have cords and stuff if you
Our
like.
yard is an obstacle course. You got to get by the cars, the hose across the walkway, and then the
It's true.
bush full of bees.
Yeah.
So-
You are not lying about any of those pieces. And there's about 8 cars in the driveway.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're like any of us, there's like 37 cars. Like, kind of move them over so that the
But on
kids
the
have a
up-
place
but
to
on the
walk.
upside, if you make it through the 3-pedal Mafia,
You will get a candy bar.
You get like a full candy bar and 2 White Claws, so it's totally worth it. Yeah.
What? Only the watermelon ones because we don't like those. That's what you get. Okay. Anyway, I make sure your pets are restrained, even if you're dogs. Dogs like everybody. They don't like them on Halloween because kids are dressed up and they're scary. Make sure when you're right, that dog is very scary. Practice safe carving. So you never know when your knife can slip. We have some really sharp knives that we got for carving. So make sure that you are practicing safe. Nobody wants to go to the hospital with a carving knife.
Hospitals are closed on Halloween.
Well, hopefully you're carving before Halloween, but they're still closed out to that.
Well, that and half the times they don't know if you're actually bleeding. It's fake blood. yeah.
There you go. Right. And then even if
I think the hospital can tell the difference between the fake blood.
maybe hey, if it's real, it's real. If it's real looking,
Tastes
they
like
never
ketchup.
know. Ew. Go flameless. You could consider that. Don't have to have a candle in the bottom. You could just put a little LED light. They look pretty much the same, especially from far away. So consider that. And be extra cautious when you're driving because you never know where that little kid dressed up as the angry guy. He probably has a name in Squid Games. I don't know, the angry guy that dresses in black. He could be that guy, and you just won't
The
be able to
game
see him.
master.
Oh, is that what his name is?
No,
Game
I don't know.
Master.
I just said
Okay,
that.
fine. The game master who is all dressed in black. When you have your little kid that's dressed in black, make sure that you can actually
And
see
he's got
them.
little tiny slits for eyes, and he can't see you.
Or he's wearing a really cool the black mask that Eric made for the
Yeah.
other game masters. You could literally not see out of that. And don't forget about those kids that have food allergies. Yes, that would be nice for you to do. So that's what I got. I'm sure there's more things, but be nice to people.
That's
A lot of
awesome.
people like them.
What are we all dressing around as?
Squid Games.
Squid Games.
I took the tape off of my
I
shirt.
know you did.
Oh.
Because I wanted to wash it. I was like, "Where's the tape?" And he was like, "I took it off." Okay, well,
I'm
mine's
thinking,
still
I'm thinking
on.
about going as Oddball from Kelly's Heroes. And if you get that joke,
I do.
I don't.
you knock it off with those negative rays.
Worst costume most tasteless costume that you're gonna see over the weekend?
Sexy safety worker.
Sexy safety worker. I was
Totally. Yeah.
I was gonna say Cowboy Baldwin. I don't know.
Oh,
Too early?
soon.
Too soon?
Oh, might be too soon.
Oh boy. We're gonna try and end it up. Do we know what we're talking about next week?
Apparently,
We're back to SEMA, baby. We just got the
you are, yeah.
notification. Well, we just got the press pass so that the kid
Back off the mic a little bit. It's really loud. Sorry.
And
Because you're really loud, Jeff.
You're
We've got
really
a
loud.
Speaker in the mic. That's the problem.
Yeah.
All right. So
There
our
you go.
newest producer, Victoria Ward, got her press pass yesterday. So she'll
Nice.
be
Oh,
Will we have her as a
Awesome.
guest?
if she wants to be, sure. So yes, SEMA. We're talking SEMA, baby.
Talking
Okay.
Seaman next week. All right.
Bronco count. Ding.
Yeah. I think regular Broncos. I think there's not going to be as many. There are too
We'll
few
find out.
of them. All right. So thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. If you're watching on the YouTubes, right down there in the doodly-doo, just type up what you need. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop a comment on our Facebook page, or again, right there in the doodly-doo. Everyone.racers, or is the Facebook page. Email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can text us at 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram or Twitter at everyone.racers. YouTube, Facebook, Everyone Racers, Reddit /E1R. Way too many social medias. We are everywhere. Do you hear that, Ford? So give us a press car.
Maverick.
We'll
We need a Maverick.
we'll include it on all of those places.
Or Hyundai Santa Cruz. We're down.
Sure.
New Civic, even. What a great car.
Oh, now you're
Civic.
crazy. Nobody gets those. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up. Unless you're a SEMA truck and you don't have one of those drive shafts, you might want to keep those wheels down.